Hello everybody, my name's Swicey, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about all my dungeon speed farms that I do, and I'm going to be making individual videos on how you can do each dungeon speed farm at around similar times of what I do, if not faster, or the same, just depending on what gear and what speeds and things you're able to get. Um, the team I'm probably most proud of is my Fire Knight team. I finally got it around a minute to a minute and 25 seconds. It's pretty awesome. But before we get there, we got to check out the other dungeons. So first we have Ice Golems Peak. I do stage 9 because it's actually much faster than 10. So as you can see, best time being 108. The team here. So the setups, I'm just going to scroll through them. You can look through them. You can look over here at the stats. Like I said, I'll be doing further breakdown videos talking about what you can and can't do and what could possibly get you to speed farming the different dungeons the same way I am. So here we go, just going through here. I did have to change the setups a little bit just because I had to change my Chimar's build to be able to do two other dungeons, both my Shogun, not my Shogun, my Sand Devil and my Fire Knight in the times that I am. So let's go ahead, hop in here. And the reason that I'm doing 9 and the reason that it's actually faster is because the second wave. The tutorials make this a much faster run, and that's why I do it, because, I mean, why not? If it's going to be faster, might as well do it. That's kind of how I've seen it this whole time, because I could have 100% consistency in my Sand Devil and my Fire Knight, but they're not quite there yet. But I'd much rather take the way faster runs than the runs that are like 4, 5, 6 minutes and 100% consistency. I don't mind it sacking just a little bit of energy here and there if it means that I'm going to get a lot more runs done in the amount of time given. So yeah, once the whole team dies, it's just Artax soloing. That does happen here and there. We'll get a debuff and then we get hit and it goes away. But it gets back pretty safe. And then we're almost done with the run. Tying my best time at 108. There we go. One more turn than my last best run. But yeah, that is my Ice Golem, doing stage 9 simply because it's faster than 10, and it's what I prefer to do. And then we're going over to Spider, where it's just very simply 2 Newts, a Mithrala, and then Lydia, and then Seer's there just in case something goes wrong, but she really doesn't need to be there. It would take some really crappy things happening, but let's go ahead and run the run. There is definitely a lot of substitutes you can do in most of these teams, and when I do those further breakdown videos, I will be sure to mention plenty of champions you can sub in for each one that I use here. So right there, some bad RNG, that means that Seer is there to clean up. That's actually the first time that's happened, but that's why she's there, and it works out just fine. Now we have the Dragon's Lair. So in Dragon, this is what I'm running. We have Duchess, Nishak, Seer, Draco, and Prince Kymar. Very fast team. All of these teams are going to be at least 15 seconds to at most a minute and 25 seconds, just depending on RNG and things. But all of them very fast and will get your turn attacks done very well. Get all these different things out of the way, no problem. So let's go ahead and get this run done. I do have my Kymar built in damage if you've paused and seen the stats on him. The Kymar is in damage just to help with waves, specifically Fire Knight waves, because Fire Knight is by far the hardest dungeon, and getting something to work there is what was most important to me. And now that I have Fire Knight at a very respectable time, I can now worry about PvP a lot more. I was able to get my Shogun very fast, my Sand Devil very fast, and this is really just kind of like an in-game showcase of what you guys could possibly be doing, and just what the builds, what the AI setups are like. And I'm very excited to get through and show you guys the different, let's say, Fire Knight Speed Farm teams, what you could be doing there, what you could be doing in Sand Devil if you're not able to do Sand Devil yet. There's just a lot of options and a lot of fun stuff coming up in the channel. So we get through this. Just a little bit of a longer run, simply because the revives, but it works out to 1 minute and 12 seconds. All right, now we go down to Fire Knight, where this is by far my favorite team that I've ever made. Here is the setup. So we have Padraig, we have Cardiel, Kymar, Foley, and Newt. These are the AI setups. So this is round 1, round 2, and then we have round 3. The AI setups are pretty important to make sure everything is as consistent as possible, because if anything's not set up right, there's a chance that it gets all out of whack, and then without a controlled run, Fire Knight just runs rampant, and then the run is just basically over at that point. So we usually get through that first wave between 10 seconds and 15 seconds. This next wave is where the RNG really comes in for the time. Can either completely screw your run or make the run. This one is going to be pretty fast through the waves, get 32 seconds. And now to the boss, and this is the most RNG really. I know I said the second wave is for like time, but the boss is the RNG at the end of the day, and that's why my Foley's in Soul Reap actually is to avoid some of that RNG and make sure that the boss gets killed off regardless of what happens. So as you can see, his decreased defense did not get placed on that first ally attack. We do need to see that decreased defense for it to get through in a decent time. It usually does still win without placing anything, but it is a bit slower. But as long as it gets placed, we get through, usually between 108 and then, well, no, it's 112, sorry, 112, and then 120, 125, 120, 125. But yeah, that's the team, guys. As you saw, Soul Reap at the end to finish it off, and overall just a really great team, really high consistency for the time that it is. And yeah, so then we have our Sand Devil team. This one might be the most RNG really, just because it's based off of 2 abilities. If we don't get the decreased defense or the weaken, and if we don't get the sleep, then it's lost. So it's probably, it's not even a 97% win rate. It's probably like 94% or something. It would just take a lot of 3% to make this not happen, but there we go. 10 turns, very solid. Let me go back and show you the AI setup. I forgot to do that. It's just a super simple team, so I just kind of forgot. But yep, here it is. And the reason that this team works so well is actually because the nice bond between Cornelia and Riho here. Since Cornelia is placing instead of hitting, this isn't taking one of the hits off of the Sand Devil, and then the Riho is only doing 1 hit, so then we have 4 hits available, and then our Newt, which usually would be capped out at 269 speed, I can actually run them at 279 because of this, and this takes it down to 1 hit left, and the boss doesn't get woken up, and then we get to reset and kill off the boss. So very, very happy with that, because I've been using the duo team for a long time, and it's just not fast enough. I mean, in the time that I get these done, I would, I'd be taking 10 or so runs, or maybe even more now on the other one. So just happy with this, and even if it's not even 97% win rate, I think it's worth it. I'll sack some energy for a whole lot of time saved. And then finally we have my Shogun 25 team. This is Gnarlhorn, Coldheart, Mimic, Ninja, and Painkeeper. So let's go ahead and give this a run. This run is just a I believe this is by far the most consistent run that I have. Right there with Spider and Dragon. It's 100%, so, and I believe both Spider and Dragon are as well. Maybe not Spider. Maybe we'd get like double 3%ed, and then like it would just take a really crazy circumstance for it to not happen with all the fail safes that I have. But this team, extremely consistent. Basically nothing that can go wrong unless you mess up the speeds or something. But I have never seen this team lose, not even once. And overall, just a great team. Some good times, and not even close to some of the other times that you see. I've seen some that are like 2 minutes, 30 seconds and stuff. But if you're able to run Ninja, this is a very, very fast team. Even without it, it's probably the most consistent team there is. But yeah, guys, that is what I'm doing in my in-game grinding. This is where I farm. This is how I farm. I'm focusing right now on Fire Knight, Sand Devil, and Shogun. I've been actually doing a lot more Shogun recently because I needed to get my Regash going. The piece that I did on my Regash was just get his amulet up. I needed that so I could get at least a decent amount of crit damage. It's not the most. And actually now I'm going to be hitting up some Sand Devil for both the defense percent and the speed on him. And yeah, so that is just how my farming is going. I am very happy with the teams. I hope you guys have been able to learn a little bit from this video. If you would like to see a specific dungeon first or a specific area first, please do let me know because I would like to get some great videos out for you guys explaining how each of the bosses work specifically, going through every combo you could go and make it work. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys.